Good evening, everybody. What's going on? It is ebook in the building. I am in the process of trying to catch up with our buddy Road here so we can do the show, the Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo. Road, if you are listening to the show, I am in the indie studio in the EV Mux, the Indie Experience EV Mux. Uh, if you do not have the link, I am attempting to send it to you now. This is the show we call Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo. According to Ro, her plan for this evening was to do a story time for this episode of Speaking Freely. If we can figure out how to get her here and get the story here, we will make that happen. If not, bro, I do have a plan B for the show this evening. So, however we can work that out, let's do so. Again, thank you guys who tuned in this evening to Rumble Time. We appreciate your patronage for that show. Been doing much better the last couple weeks, and I know it's because you guys are liking it and checking it out. We appreciate you. But right now we are here doing Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo, but right now we are missing one Ms Gigo. So once we can find her and catch up with her, we can do the show. If not, then I might even attempt to do my own version of Speaking Freely, which will be interesting. Because I was not prepared for that. So again, we are efforting Miss Gigo Simmons. Hopefully she will be in the studio shortly. In the meanwhile, I am trying to get her story set up to be played on the air here. That might be easier said than done also. But we will work all that out as we can. Now, good people, our buddy Ro has been doing podcasts and shows for over 15 years now on her radio station that was Blog Talk. Road to Stardom over there at Blog Talk. She has now come here to do her shows, one of which is the show we call Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo. There's the background right there for you. Um, this show is a little bit of a different thing than what initially it was, so I'm learning as we go along what that is. And remember, we also do a show with Miss Rowe on Tuesday, which is the Indie Experience. Right now, we are looking for independent artists, also people who are independent authors, have their own small business, anything like that. If you are looking for a platform to show your goods or share your story, this is the platform for you. That would be the Indie Experience on Tuesdays at 10. If you want to get in touch with Road, you can do so on Road to Stardom. That is the Road to Stardom page on the Facebook, and also the Road to Stardom page on her Instagram as well. You can also follow her on YouTube at Road to Stardom and find her there as well. Now, again, we are trying to find Road. I'm not sure what has happened. Clearly, we have crossed signals at some point here, and we are unable to track her down at this moment. Again, I'm trying to figure out how we will be able to play her story time tonight. That's a little technical thing that would take kind of a long explanation to explain. So I'm not going to bore y'all with the details, but the way in which we share the information is a little bit different. Now, Rhoda is still sending me things at the moment. So, as she's doing that, I'm assuming that's part of why we don't have her on the air at the moment because she is utilizing the time to share that information with me. So, hopefully, as soon as she gets done with all of that, she will be in to do the show. Okay, now she has sent it another way, but I have also sent it to me another way. So hopefully, between one of those two ways, we will be able to do this. All right. Okay, Road. Whatever you else trying to send, don't worry about it. Just come on the show, baby. Come on the show. We is ready to do this. Cause we have already kept the audience waiting. If you have any questions for Road in the meantime, you can post them right here and we can have them answered for you once she gets here. Again, this is the show called Speaking Freely. And right now I'm speaking freely to you because Road is not here to do so. Um, I don't know what else to say at the moment. We're just hoping that Road comes on sooner than later so we can get this thing popping. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break and hopefully in another minute or two, Road will be here to do the show. We'll be back.
If you're building your dream from scratch, mic in one hand, hustle in the other, this one's for you. Road to Stardom Network and Nighthawk Network present, a podcast for the indie by the indie, all genres, all grinds. From hip-hop to metal, jazz to trap, we're breaking boundaries. And it's not just artists. Entrepreneurs, creatives, and self-made bosses, we see you. We're giving you the spotlight. This ain't mainstream, this is your stream. Coming soon. Be ready.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a
All right, y'all, we are back to the show. Again, we are still trying to find Ms Gigo so we can get the show going here. Um, she's been sending me information to the email, but I don't need them on information road. Just come do the show. We will figure out the rest later. So as we are again efforting road, so we can do the show speaking freely. I'm here to tell you that this is a couple of the shows in the Nighthawk Network. What you just saw, Rumble Time, in this show here. We also have on Tuesdays again the Indie Experience as well as Rumble Time. On Wednesdays we show the show known as Google Sports Session. This Thursday we will be back again with Two Unks Talking TV. This week we'll be talking about the show known as The Fresh Prince of Bel Air and also the spinoff Bel Air. We'll have a discussion about those two shows. Friday we'll be on with Coach Vincent and Straight Sports Talk. And then back again Sunday to do this over again. Perhaps. Keeping in mind Sunday is Easter. I just remembered that. We may have to have a little discussion, my peoples. But meanwhile we are waiting on Road to check on into the show so we can do her show. Right now, Road is not here. I know not why. Perhaps she's in the wrong place. I sent you the link, Road, if you are listening. I sent you the link to the other show here on the EB Muck so you can come on in and be on the show with me. Now, again, we about 11 minutes in, waiting on Road. I'm trying not to do too much because I don't want to take over her show this evening if I don't have to. But I'll do a little something, something if I do have to. That is my thought process at the moment, at least. Because Ro had her idea for what this particular episode would be. I'm not completely clear on it myself. So I would be kind of at a loss to try to do what she intended to do because, quite frankly, not completely sure what that entailed. To be honest. So, as we figure that out, we shall figure that out. There's Road. All right. Road, can you hear me? There you are.
Hear
Road.
you.
Okay, so yes, people, Miss
I can
Road
hear
is
you.
here. Miss Road is here. Without further ado, let her do her thing. Okay, well, she was here, and now she is not. Perhaps she is having some technical difficulties on her end, which is why we did not get her immediately. She was on the screen briefly. All right, she's checking back in.
Welcome,
I hope.
everyone.
There we go.
Tonight, I guess they don't want me to do a show, but we're gonna have a show. And tonight, I'm glad I'm sharing stories. I'm glad I'm sharing stories tonight. Again, sharing stories tonight again. And the first one I'm gonna be sharing with you is a children's story, and then the second one is a short film script that I've written. And the children's story, the
Okay,
title of
now
that story
understand.
was Love Conquers Hate.
I'm having some
Because you know what all
difficulties.
we've been going through in the world.
Road, can you hear me? Road. Nope, her can't hear me. Okay, I'm having difficulties keeping her in the stream and also getting her stories together. So if we could work out them two things, then we shall. If not, then we may have to come with a plan B for the evening, but we gonna keep trying to work it out. Okay, I don't know what's going on, Road, but what I was asking is
Okay.
if you can explain to the people why we're
Sorry
doing
about that,
story time
everybody. My
today.
Wi Fi is acting up, and I don't know why.
I too
So
am
if
having
I cut
trouble.
out, That's the reason why. But like I was saying, there's a world of children's story called When Love Conquers Hate. When Love Conquered Hate. So when I thought of this story, I was thinking of how, in Cinderella, she had stepsisters that treated her bad. So my story, When Love Conquers Hate, is kind of like that. She got a stepsister called she. So the main character, her name is Love. She lives in Loveland. Her sister name is Hate. Her stepsister name is Hate. And so when you hear the story, you will get the gist of where I was going with the story. Because, like I said, all the stuff we've been going through since Trump became president again, all this hate that was permeated through the world, it gave me an idea to write a children's story. So, let's get into that story, When Love Conquered Hate.
Again, Ro, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, the problem
Can
we're
you hear
having,
me?
Ro, is we're trying to download the story here to the young tablet because we had issues with it being on the computer, and we are having issues with that. Okay, so what we're going to need for you to do is give a more detailed explanation of the story while I try to reset everything on the computer and put it back over here.
Okay, so while we wait for the story to be played, so like I was saying about, we got so much hate in the world where people are hating people for no reason. And so I thought about that. So write a story where love conquered hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? You think of the stories in the Bible where there was hate and then love conquered it. You could think of it like that. You probably could think of stories of situations in your life where hate came into play and you showed love throughout all of it, and the hate just disappeared. I mean, we always going to experience hate here and there for different reasons. Somebody hates you because you look better than them. Somebody hates you because you dress better than them. Somebody hates you because you're doing way better in life than them. So they hated on you for that. But the way you conquered it, the hate was show them grace, show them love. Like, I get it. You're mad because my life is better than yours, but you shouldn't be mad. You should be on a path to making your life better. That's what you should be doing. Now, I'm going to tell you about the short film story that's going to come after that. It's called His Love Affair, My Blessing. And it's a short film story that I came up with. Because a lot of us get into relationships and some of us stay in these relationships knowing that we shouldn't. Some of us stay because we got nowhere else to go. We might have got with someone, moved out of town with them, had no family in the area. So where are you going to go? Right? Sometimes we marry the wrong people. And we don't realize that we married the wrong person until after they do something that has us thinking. Like he had an affair. And her finding out about the affair, she started realizing that it's a blessing for her, because as she plays back their relationship in her mind, she's realizes she should have never been with him in the first place. It's always that one that we fall for so hard. And it ain't till after we get hurt by them that we realize we shouldn't have been with them in the first place. But we still have love for them. That there are some women, and I can say some men, who even though they was hurt by that person, they still deep down want to be with that person. And the reason why is because they're afraid to start over. We get in that phase that when we're dating someone we think is the one, and they're not the one, we find out they're not the one, that we try and want to work it out because we don't want to start over. You don't want to go back out there in the dating pool, meet someone new, gotta tell them everything about yourself, they gotta tell you everything about them. And then you also start to wonder if this person is like the last. You don't want to date someone who is like the last because you've been through hurt. You don't want to get hurt again. And 9 out of 10, the next person not that person that hurt you, but because of how bad they hurt you, that's in your mindset. That the next one's probably going to be like them as well. But when dating and getting into a relationship, it's all about getting to know each other. So once you get to know the new person, you're going to see they're not the same as the last. But some of us have it stuck in our head, and once it's stuck in your head, it's hard to get it out, and you wind up losing out on something good because you put him or her in that category of the last. Yep, you put them in that category. So yeah, that's basically, that's what that short script was about. He had an affair. It was a blessing for her. But if you notice, like some women who have gotten married, they are dependent on the man they married because that man told them, "Oh, you don't need to get a job. I'll take care of you financially. You don't need a job. All you gotta do is just cook and clean around the house, do the laundry, do this, do that for me, and you'll be set financially." And as women, you fall for it, and then you do exactly as he asked. You cook, you clean, you do everything he asks you to do, but he still cheats on you, right? He has another woman on the side which you don't know about because you don't go anywhere. All you do is you cook, you clean, you gotta go food shopping, you go food shopping. If you don't have a wash and dry in your house, what you gotta do is you gotta go out to a laundromat to get your clothes washed. And that's all you doing 24/7 is taking care of his needs while he's out cheating on you with another woman that you don't know about. And then when you find out, you saying to yourself, what does she have that I don't have that's making him go to her? Or what did I do? What did I do to make him want to cheat in the first place? Because when you get cheated on, that person never tells you the reason why they cheated on you. You don't find that out till after you already broke up and y'all had the conversation. But they never tell you why you're still in a relationship so that things can be fixed. If it was meant to be, things could be fixed. So go ahead, E, take the commercial break so we can get into these stories. We don't want to have the people waiting all night long. So I hope you enjoy the stories. You can leave comments and I will check them if what you think of the stories. So we okay. I don't know if E heard me to go ahead into the commercial break. But so I will do a live commercial. So if you are a business and you're looking to advertise, you can advertise right here on Nighthawk Network through our many different shows we have on the network. A live commercial.
All right, no, you ain't
You
got to
can
do that. I
advertise with
got it.
us.
I
Just
got it,
contact E
bro.
at Nighthawk.
Hello,
What is it? Nighthawk. See, I can't remember E's. Okay.
I got it, bro. I'm here. I got it.
Okay.
We got you. We'll be back, y'all. We working it out live broadcast be like this sometimes, y'all. I apologize, but we getting it together. We'll be right back.
If you're building your dream from scratch, mic in one hand, hustle in the other, this one's for you. Road to Stardom Network and Nighthawk Network present a podcast for the indie by the indie, all genres, all grinds. From hip-hop to metal, jazz to trap, we're breaking boundaries. And it's not just artists. Entrepreneurs, creatives, and self-made bosses, we see you. We're giving you the spotlight. This ain't mainstream, this is your stream. Coming soon. Be ready.
All right, here we go, y'all. We are back and we are ready for the story. Let's get it going before something else bad happens.
Yes. This is when love conquered hate. It's a children's
Title:
story, y'all.
Love Conquers All. Written by Page 1. Long ago, in a magical land called Loveland, there lived a kind and brave princess named Love. But one day, her stepsister Hate grew jealous and cast a spell over the entire town. Page 2. She locked Princess Love in a dark cellar and took over the kingdom. The skies turned grey, the flowers wilted, and no one remembered what love felt like. Page 3. Love tried to yell for help through a tiny crack in the wall. "Help! I'm down here," she cried, but only Hate's minions passed by, and they didn't care. Page 4. One day, she heard footsteps. A voice said, "Where am I? Am I lost?" She called out, "Help! I'm down here." Page 5. The mystery man searched and found the crack. "I hear you," he said. "How did you get down there?" "My stepsister locked me in," she answered. "Please help me." Page 6. The mystery man asked a passing stranger for help, but he didn't know that stranger was one of Hate's minions. Page 7. The minion ran off, straight to Hate. "The princess found someone to help her," he said. "What?" Hate screamed. Page 8. Hate rushed to the cellar with her minions. "Grab him! Don't let him free the princess." But the mystery man ran far, far away. Page 9. While running, he found a tool that could break into the cellar. He came back quietly and dug a hole until it was big enough to climb through. Page 10. Inside, he saw Princess Love tied up with tape on her mouth. She was so happy to see him. He whispered, "Shh, stay quiet." Then he set her free. Page 11. He led her into the forest to hide, then returned to fix the hole. He placed rocks and a giant boulder to block it. Page 12. Then he snuck back and locked the cellar door. Click! Hate heard it. "Who's there?" she yelled. But no one answered. She tried the door, locked. Page 13. She ran to the hole, but the boulder was too big. "Help! Help!" she cried. Her minions came, but they couldn't move the stone or open the door. Page 14. Days passed. The minions searched, but couldn't find the princess. Hate grew weak with no food. But in the forest, Love grew stronger. Page 15. As she finished eating, Love looked at her rescuer. I never asked your name, she said. It's Godly, he smiled. Thank you, Godly. What do we do now? Page 16. Godly said, We'll sneak into the castle and fix everything. We'll make Loveland full of love again. Page 17. At sunrise, they found Hate's potion book. The spell said, to stop hate, pour love into her heart. Page 18. They made the love potion, glowing pink and warm. Then they went back to the cellar. Godly stood guard. Love opened the door. Page 19. Hate was too weak to move. Love gently lifted her head. You forgot what love feels like, she said. She poured the potion down her throat. Page 20. Suddenly, Hate's heart began to glow. She tried to speak mean words, but only kind ones came out. She tried to hate, but could only feel love. Page 21. Loveland began to change. The skies turned blue. Flowers bloomed. The townspeople laughed and danced again. Page 22. Princess Love returned to her rightful place as ruler. She stood on the balcony and spoke to the people. Page 23. Never let your heart fill with so much hate that you miss out on the chance to feel love. The crowd cheered, and peace ruled Loveland forevermore.
So that is the story when love conquered hate.
Okay. All right, good people. Hold on. Hold on. Time out and time out. I'm about to do something here, bro. I need you to work with me, all right?
Mm-hmm.
What we gonna do is we about to Jack Road show for a minute, okay? Because what we have here is a story and the means of a story, and I need the story to be told a certain way. So because of that, I'm gonna go into my bag where once upon a time in a land far, far away, there was this kid named Eric that was a reporter. And I'm going to use those reporter skills to interview you about this story you have made entitled Love Conquers Hate. Okay? Let's do that. All
Okay.
right, so we are here, y'all. This is the show known as Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo. Ms Gigo tonight has decided to bless us with one of her stories, a short story that she's entitled When Love Conquered Hate. First of all, let me first say that I really enjoyed this particular poster here. Ro has been known to make great posters in recent days and weeks and months. Here's a couple she's made here. For example, for her LP, Two Step Into My Heart, she made that there. She also made this one, Skating on Thin Ice. She's good at that there. So when I see that and I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, we're going to have something nice here. It's going to be a beautiful story. Now, here's where I have some issues. First and foremost, bro, I do give you credit for your utilization of the AI and doing the story. Now, the problem I have is that it made the story not what it could have been. It was very cut and dry with the use of AI because the voice of AI tends to just be monotone. It don't give you no fluctuation. You don't get the parts of the story that's yeah. You don't get the parts of the story that's oh. You just get it telling the story. That part didn't work for me. I did not like that part. So my first question is that something that you chose to go with as a creative choice, or was that something you was trying? What led you to do the story in that particular form?
So, as you know, we use radio AI, and on radio AI, you could use the voiceover. So, instead of me reading the story, I rather the AI, I wanted the AI voice to read it, and I went with that particular voice because it says it was a storytelling voice.
Okay, so based upon that, do you feel like it did a good job of telling your story?
No, it did not do a good job,
Why do you
but
feel that way? And
you
I'll tell
gotta
you why
use
I
what you
felt that
got.
way.
You gotta use what you can use to get to at least get the people to be able to hear it. Because any other voiceover app I would have used, I'm sure the voice would have probably been a monotone type voice.
Okay, Ro. Now, I'm speaking not only as the interviewer, but more so as your friend. You know who would have did a better job of telling your story just now? You! You! You would have did a better job because you would have put the inflection where it went. You would have put the sad part in. You would have put the good part in. We could have even collaborated because you know me. I can do voices. Love. Hate. I don't like nothing. I hate you. Get that potion away from me. We could have made it work because think about it. This is a beautiful cover of a children's story. If you were telling that story to your young niece or nephew or whatnot, would you have put on the AI voice and told it that way? Yeah, I would have
No,
did that if I was trying to make their
automatically,
butt go to sleep and get bored to death. I would have did it that way. But
I
if I
wouldn't
was
have did
telling
it.
the story normally, you know you would have did the voices and all that good stuff. And look at the picture. Cause see that's the thing that I hate about this also. This lends itself to a beautiful story in storybook form, pop-up book, coloring book. All that would have worked beautifully. It even would have made a nice video if we could have worked that out. But just as a story read by AI monotone voice I did not like that for you. It ruined what is actually a good story about the importance of love and hate and how that works against and for one another. It ruined the story. AI suck on this one. It suck. And you know we are big AI proponents here in this house. But for this particular story, I did not like it for that. Now, understand another thing I did not care for about the story, way too short. We needed more. We needed to develop the character of love and develop the character of hate. This was a bit, you know, in this day and age, a snippet that would have worked good for TikTok because it was a nice 3 minute something story. But in terms of a nice readable book, that's about a good 50, 60 page book for real. And you narrowed it down to 17. And if we would have put it in the form that you initially sent it, it would have not came off good at all. Cause we would have stopped and then the next page. And then stop and then the next. That would not have played out well. I'm glad we put it all together, but even still, you ain't give us enough. You tease me. Why you tease us?
Because, well, it's a short story because it's a children's
Very
book.
short story.
And when you look at most children's books, they are short.
They ain't that short, bro.
Yes, no, that's 23 pages of it. I can always add more, but I'm saying for my first take at a children's book, I didn't want it to be too long because you just think about it, if your child, you're sitting in class and the teacher's reading the story. You know, most kids don't have the attention span.
Dang, you thinking these kids extra dumb. You give them a 3 minute
No, I'm not
story.
saying no, because I know. Trust me, when teachers say story time, you know when teachers say it's story time, and she goes, I got a book. This is the book we're gonna read. Some kids, once you start reading, if they don't catch them like that, they lose their attention of listening to what the teacher's reading. So you don't want to make a book too long. You don't want to make it too short, because if you lose the kid's attention, it's like you just reading for yourself. So you
I
gotta put it somewhere
understand
in the
that.
middle. You gotta put it somewhere in the middle.
Okay, we was not in the middle on this one though. We was definitely on the short end. That
20
story
pages,
needed
yeah,
more
is
meat.
short, but
That was a
when
sandwich with bread and a thin piece of bologna. I need some cheese and lettuce, tomato on that sucker.
I can make it longer, but I gotta go back in and read where I left. Go back to where I left off, and then add more.
Okay, this is my like I said, if y'all tuning in right now and y'all seeing Rose point on it in the short and intensive span, by all means, please chime in. If y'all see my point, please chime in with that as well. What I'm saying, good people, is I needed it to feel like a story. That story had no feel. That is part of why some of you do not like AI. That's a perfect example why some of you don't like AI because it comes off as cold and robotic. There is no personability to it. The thing is, when we create our songs, there's a personability to it. You get feel from it. And this reading of the story, it did not give us that. Now, of course, AI is a constantly developing thing. So I feel like if you was to do this same story 6 months from now and put it into the AI, it been and learned some things and been like, okay, give us multiple characters and voices and whatnot, and it'll be able to do that. Knowing us, we probably just don't know the proper prompts to make that happen. But based on how it read your story, it did not give your story the life that it needed to feel like a good story. And it really was. If you listen carefully and get past the no 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 and listen to the story, it's like, oh, that's cool. I even heard a little soundtrack in my head as I was hearing the story. Even that would have helped his son. You being talented songwriter that you is, if you came with a little background track to that, that'd be even better still. But in terms of how it played, not the story itself, bro, like the story. Didn't like how it played and needed more story. You gave me big old sandwich with a couple pieces of chicken. So I ate the 2 bites and now the rest of it just bread. I don't want to eat this bread. Go get me some more meat, bro. Put some more meat on that sandwich. Quit playing with me, bro. I be hungry. And you just gave me a couple pieces of chicken. That sandwich supposed to be full of chicken and cheese and lettuce and tomato and onion and stuff. Why you do us like that, bro?
One, this well, like I said, it's a children's story, but if it was, plus with doing the show, you, I want to keep it to where it's in the time frame so that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't go over. Cause then we'd be like continuation next week. I don't want to be saying
Hey,
continuation.
understand, y'all. Usually the show be close to ending right now, but we done had technical problems all evening. Part of that is very much my fault. The network going through some things. Okay, we trying. We trying. But on the other hand, we got to work on how we present some of the content to you as well. So
Yep.
that's a little bit of both our fault. So we gonna work it out. We gonna work it out, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna work that out. So,
Okay, continue on. This interview is over. Back to your show.
so like I said, because I've told y'all many times before, I don't just write lyrics. I also write stories, and that's one of the children's stories. And so the next one I sent you, I don't have a picture for because it's a short film. So, so actually, it's the AI reading the script of what the short film.
Uh oh. All right, y'all. Well, check it out. We gonna try that next and see how we like it. This is Speaking Freely with Ms Gigo. I am Eba, the producer, sometimes co-host, sometimes interviewer. Depends on what we need at the moment. Anyway, we
So
about to be
that
back.
story. So when we get back, that story will be is called His Secret Love Affair, My Blessing, and it's a short film.
All right, y'all. So we will check that out till we get back from these words from the station. 'Cause that's how we do it here at Nighthawk Network. The motto that y'all should know, but I can't get none of my co-hosts to remember. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people. Y'all better recognize.
The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
thread, believing in the words that he said. Whisper sweet, but hollow as smoke. Love.
You back and me back and me back. So like I said, the story, the short film story, is called His Secret Affair, My Blessing. Now the title alone can tell you what type of story, type of film this is gonna be.
Title:
So
Love Conquers Hate. Written by Nikas. Page 1. Long ago in a magical land called... Title:
that's
Love
it.
Conquers All.
We just
Written
did
by...
that story.
Okay, here's the part where you get to talking some more while I fix what happened on this other end.
So, because you know when I get into my creative flow, you know, a lot of either a song may come to me or a story, and this story just came to me, and I was like, instead of making it into a short story, why not make it into a short film? And so that's what I did. I took what I wrote of the story. I put it into ChatGPT and had them put in the format of a script. So when you hear the AI voice read it, it's probably gonna sound monotone again. So, but it's gonna read you just how if an actor got the script, it's gonna read every part. So it's just two characters, the husband and wife. The two main characters, the husband and wife, Charles and Charlotte. And I think the third character is the woman he's having the affair with. Because it's been a while since that I wrote this story, so, and turned it into a short film, so it's been a while. It's like whenever, like, as far as story wise, something comes to me, I get the writing, it down on paper, my character names, the title, and sometimes I'll go into, when I come up with a title, I'll go into ChatGPT and ask if this is a good title for, a story. And so when ChatGPT said, yeah, this is a good title, I went and I got the writing. And this is His Secret Affair, My Blessing.
His Secret Love Affair, My Blessing. Short film script. In Charles and Charlotte's luxury home, a polished, modern living room, a wedding photo of Charles Rivers, 40s, ambitious but insecure, and Charlotte Simone Rivers, poised heir to Gigo Studios, hangs above the fireplace. Charlotte sits alone on the sofa, sipping wine, staring at the photo. 10 years of marriage, 2 years after college, we swore forever. I believed in his vision. I just didn't know his vision didn't include me. Flashback. INT, college campus day. Young Charles and Charlotte laugh, holding hands. She's simple, no designer labels. He's already pitching the next big thing. Charlotte, VO. He never knew I was an heiress. I wanted him to love me, not my name. In Gigo Studios, Charlotte's office day. Sleek executive office with floor-to-ceiling windows. Charlotte sits behind her desk. Across from her sits David Miller. 50s sharp, private investigator with a thick folder and flash drive. He slides them across the desk. David Mrs. Rivers? I've seen dirt, but your husband? He's building an empire of lies, company credit cards, fake expenses, trips, hotels, all with her. Lauren. David nods. David, he's hiding more than you think. If this leaks, your company, your father's legacy, it could collapse. Charlotte stares at the folder. A fire burns behind her eyes. Not on my watch. My father built Gigo from the ground up. Charles will not bury it with his secrets. Restaurant, night. Charles, smooth talking, sits across from Lauren, 30, naive, hopeful. She hangs on to every word. Soon, babe. My production company, my reality show, big networks will be calling, and us will finally have the life we deserve. You really love me? Of course, you're my future. She beams, believing every word. In Gigo Studios, Charlotte's office. Night. Charlotte paces. The folder is open on her desk. Credit card statements, photos of Charles and Lauren, receipts for hotels. She exhales, gathers herself, and types furiously on her laptop. He wanted a reality show, his big break. Fine, I'll give him one. His truth revealed to the world. On her screen, the words, Love's Unveiling, a reality experiment. Int Gigo Studios, soundstage, day of full TV set. Cameras, lights, producers. The banner reads, Love's Unveiling. Charles struts on stage, suited up, playing host. He thinks this is his show. Charles, welcome to Love's Unveiling, where a man struggles to choose between two loves, his heart or his destiny. Applause, he's glowing. In soundstage, backstage, same time, Charlotte watches from the shadows, headset on, eyes locked on the monitors. Roll the package, on screen, pre-recorded video, clips play. Charles with Lauren at restaurants, hotels, whispered promises. Credit card charges. Evidence from David's folder. The audience gasps. Soundstage, stage, continuous. Charles freezes as the montage plays on the giant screen behind him. His face drains of color. Lauren is in the audience, shocked, covering her mouth. Charlotte, what the hell? Inch control room. Continuous. Charlotte leans toward the microphone, speaking into the live feed. Charlotte. Charles Rivers, your truth has been unveiled. The audience erupts. Cameras flash. Charles looks exposed, powerless. Any soundstage aftermath later. Charlotte walks the empty stage, heels clicking. She looks up at the banner, Love's Unveiling. He thought his mistress was his blessing. But exposing him? That was mine. She straightens her jacket and walks away, leaving the stage and Charles's empire of lies behind.
So that is the short film, His Secret Love Affair, My Blessing. Because when Charles got with Charlotte, they were in college. He didn't know she was an heiress to a movie studio. She never told him, because you know how if your family got money, how people treat you when your family got money. So she didn't want to be treated differently just because her family got money. She never dressed in designer clothes. So one thing about Charlotte, she never dressed in designer clothes. She dressed like any normal person would dress. And that's, so he fell for her, she fell for him. After college, they got married. But, they were together they were married 10 years. He started having an affair. He's thinking he's gonna get the company. He's thinking he's gonna take over the company, and she can't let that happen. That's why she exposed him with the reality show. Because he said to Lauren he wanted to do a reality show, so she gave him exactly what he wanted. But he didn't think he was gonna be the main guest in his own reality show.
Okay, y'all. It's interview time again, alright? We have now the video with a movie video setup that is His Secret Love Affair, My Blessing. Again, I like the premise of it. I like where you're going with it. I got mad for four reasons. One, I'm mad because this computer stuff is driving me nuts. Don't be mad if y'all don't see us for a week or two because I just shut it all down until I get my new computer, okay? That includes you, bro. I'm really thinking about that
I don't get mad. I don't get
because
mad.
this is being nuts right now. Two, again, we had the AI reader, but here's what really pissed me off more than anything. I started to say something real, but I ain't gonna do that. But where was this young lady in the last story?
Oh, so you liked her voice
Her voice would have been ideal for the damn kid story. Not to mention, it had fluctuation and everything like I was asking for. So my question, first of all, did you use the same AI program to do this as the
Yes, I
children's story?
did. Same AI
Then
voiceover.
why you ain't use old girl both times? Fire him. Him gotta go.
I
Erase
won't use
him.
I won't use him no more, but
Don't use him for nothing. Unless you're trying to go to sleep. Her voice was much more animated and you felt what she was talking about. Now, granted, she was talking quickish. Yeah. But she kind of
yes,
had to because she basically trying to give you the overview of the story real quick like. So I understood that part of it. But again, it was like having this big old taco. And you put in like a couple strips of chicken and a whole bunch of lettuce and pico de gallo. I don't want that. I want meat in my taco. Why you tease us, bro? You teased us again.
because that is meant to be a short
I don't want to hear
film.
about no time frame right now. Next time you do story time, I need a whole story with the meat and everything, and the sauce on the side, and the chips, and a cold beverage. We ain't got half an hour for that. Then what we doing here? What we doing?
So
Next
next
time,
time
give us
I
one
do,
story instead of two little punk stories. I don't want no mini tacos no more. I want a whole taco with all the meat and stuff, or a nice little burrito or something.
so the next story time I will do more. I have one that's real long, but it that's too many parts in that one.
I think we should talk after the show. We can work these things out. We got some other things to work out too. But anyway, again, y'all, this is Speaking Freely. I am your host slash producer slash reporter ebook this evening. We've been doing story time. We got two short stories. Oh, we got a comment. Hold on. By the time some of y'all said something. Miss Beverly's checking in. Hello, Miss Beverly. She says she would have been great for the first story. She had my attention. See what I'm saying? It ain't just me. It ain't just me.
I'm
I
sorry
so
about
much
that, Miss
agree.
Beverly.
I couldn't agree with you more, Beverly.
Yeah. So I will use her. So I guess that's a voice I can use more.
Throw his voice in the AI trash. Okay? I don't need him for nothing. I don't need him to do no promo. I don't need him to tell no story. I don't need him. I don't want him. I don't want him on no song. I don't want him to do no talkovers. I don't want him for nothing. We need her. Let her tell the stories from now on. Especially into the kid stories. That would have been perfect for that kid story. No, I take that lie back. It would have been better for that kid story. It would have been perfect if Rose Simmons opened her mouth and did the story. As only she could do it because it came from her mind. Beverly checking in again. She says, "You're right, Eric. Mm-hmm. She know. She know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. Tell your story. As only you can.
So last week's show I
Matter of fact,
mentioned.
next time you do story time, I'm gonna do a story too. I'm gonna show you how to do it.
So last week when I told y'all when we did the show last Sunday, and I said I was working on a new story. I'm still working on the story. The painted by murder. I'm still working on that one.
Okay. Now I got a question, Rose. Because as you know, we've been doing our AI thing now for the better part of 6 months or so, I would say. At
Mhm.
least that long. And as we doing it, we go back to these things and they getting better and they improving things. Hell, one of the main programs we use to write the song is called Suno. And Suno then went from 3.5 to 5.5. I ain't tried the 5.5 yet, but some people say it's trash. Some people say, man, this sounds like they right there. So there's that. And with the improvements of AI, we gonna get better stuff, you know? and I understand that. I'm really waiting for the day where we can just do whole stories and movies with the AI. Now, granted, you can kind of sort of do that now, but it's extremely pricey. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. I asked ChatGPT, could I do a story with AI that was an hour long? And they said, yeah, there are apps that do that. So, what would be the typical cost? It could run into the hundreds or thousands of dollars. It ain't that
Just
deep,
for an
though.
hour long story. Oh
It
God.
ain't that deep. No, no, no.
No, I'm not spending that just for AI to read my
No,
story.
we enjoy doing it and everything, but no, not for that. Mm-mm. Okay, Ro. Again, this is my thought, but you got about 10 minutes to finish your show. Let me get
So
out your way.
yeah.
You gotta finish.
So next, speaking freely, I may do another story time. I may. Sometimes topics don't come to me as frequently. They don't come to me. So when I be trying to
But
think of a topic,
Ro,
but
you
I
know what we got here? We got the audience. So, audience, we're gonna ask you if you have some topics that you would like for Ro to talk about on Speaking Freely, much like you did the first couple of weeks, which I very much enjoyed, by the way. Uh, by all means, send them to Road to Stardom. You can find her on all your social media, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. She on TikTok. She on X. She on all that good stuff. If you can't find her,
I don't
you
use
know where
X
I
no
am.
more. No,
You
I
said
don't
what
go on
now?
my X. I don't
I
use
don't
X
either.
no
I
more.
don't do X. But I do all the rest of them. So I got TikTok, I got Instagram, I got
So
Facebook. Send them
on
as you do.
Instagram, it's road the number two is TWO Stardom. So if you're looking for me on Instagram, it's road TWO Stardom. On Facebook, it's Road to Stardom. There's a Facebook page that says Road to Stardom. I have another one that says Road to Stardom Radio. You can hit me up on that one as well. I don't mind. And you can tell me what you want the topic to be. YouTube as well. So when you go to YouTube, it's Road to Stardom Network TV. When you see that page, that's my page. And then you could let me know on there as well what topics you would want me to talk about.
Right. Now, again, I have some other ideas we'll talk about after the show, but yeah, we definitely could make that happen. No doubts. But again, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed story time this evening. Shout out to all the people tuning in. Shout out to Miss Beverly who actually commented. We like more comments on the show, particularly this
Yeah.
show. Y'all get real quiet when we get over here. We want to hear your
But
opinion.
I think Miss last week's show, even though we got cut off because of the story, Miss I would have loved Miss Beverly's opinion on that one.
Um, there will be no story time like that one ever again. Ever again.
No, I would never play it again. I'm just saying,
Ever
if
again.
she was in the room and she heard that, then
Ever again. Anyway, y'all, let me let Ro finish. My bad. My bad.
so y'all can like E said, leave comments on my Roll to Stardom page. If you on Instagram is Roll TWO Stardom. You can leave comments and you can send me topics. I said comments, topics, and we can discuss the topics. Or I may post some topics and get people's opinion on which one I should do. So this way we have stuff to talk about for this show. I'll see y'all on Tuesday for the Indie Experience. And on that show, we do music, we spotlight a business, we spotlight an author, we spotlight music videos. It could be from the same artist. We might be interviewing the artist. You hear their music, we might spotlight one of their videos. Hey Queen, I see Queen has
Yeah, yeah,
joined.
that's Queen checking in with the laughing emojis. I think she did tune in to last week's show. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Beverly checking in. She said, "Y'all have a good night. I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Miss Beverly.
Thank you,
We
Miss
appreciate you."
Beverly.
All
So,
right. Again, if you are an independent artist and you want to highlight what you got going on in terms of your music, talk about your process, talk about what shows you got going, what albums you may go, whether you be a regular artist as we know them, or if you are in this new space like me and Rhoda and you are an AI artist doing things. By all means, we want to hear from you. Again, go through all the social media as we talked about before and contact us and let's see what we can do to get you on the show so we can talk about what you do because we want to highlight you.
yep, sure do. I love playing music that I've never heard before. Give artists the exposure they deserve. Expect indie artists the exposure they deserve. I love doing that because the music we hear on the radio today is not my technically not my cup of tea. But you know when you're driving in the car and you turn on the radio, you gotta listen to what they're playing on the radio, unless
Unless, tell them,
unless
Ro, tell them what we got for them.
unless you can tune into our stations. Me and E Station on Live 365. You mine is Road to Starting Radio, his is Hawk World Radio. Just go on there, listen to it. You will hear some classics mixed in with our AI music. You will hear some artists you ain't never heard before. You may enjoy their music. And those artists you may hear you enjoy, you can always go to Spotify and check those artists out. Apple Music and check those artists out and like more their music than what you just hear on our stations, including, it's 24/7. Right now we got music playing right now on our stations. It's 24/7. If there's a song you heard on our station that you liked, you can always hit us up like on our Facebook pages and say, you know what, there was a song on your station I liked. If it's one of our AI songs, we'll let you know if it's one of our AI. If it's an artist, because a lot of artists, they give me music that they haven't put out yet. Some artists give me music they haven't put out yet. So if you hear a song, it could be a song an artist may not have put out yet. So I can't tell you where to go listen besides the station. If you wanted to go download it, show some support, some artists don't have it out yet because it's something new and they ain't put it out yet, but they're giving it to radio stations for them to play it so that people can get familiar with the music. So, but if it's an
Absolutely.
AI
And
song,
again, perhaps you don't want to be interviewed on the air, but you would like for us to play your music. We have the platforms to make that happen. So again, contact either myself or Ro on our various social media platforms. I prefer you to contact me on my Instagram, which is EricHawk45, and get in my DMs, and we can discuss. Want to shout out somebody who has been on the indie experience before. Shout out to our dude Dre Rock. He got some new music
mm-hmm.
out for you. I've been in touch with him. He's supposed to be sending me that so I can put it on my station. You already got a song or two that you can hear on Road Station, which is Road to
So
Stardom
I
Radio.
have Dre Rock's song on my station called "Sex and Go." Now,
Like that song.
and that song is to his wife because you hear in the song in the lyrics he says, "I call her Miss Dre Rock." So he's talking about his wife. So that
Absolutely. And
song
like
is
I said,
about his
we
wife.
got some more stuff in the works for both stations. We will be cross referencing and all that good stuff. Again, we talk about that after the show, Road. But again, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So that is it for tonight's show. Just send those topics over so it won't be just story time all the time. Be topics. Everybody can join in. If you have a dilemma you're going through, you know how when people have a dilemma they need some advice. If you have a dilemma you're going through and you need some advice, you can send me rather a letter, an email or a letter telling me what you're going through, and we'll try to help you out with your dilemma. on the show. I don't have a problem with that. That can be something we can work with, adding to the show where people, if they have a dilemma, get some advice. We got a lot of people who tune in that could give you the advice you're looking for. Cause I mean, sometimes needing advice, and then who do you go to for advice?
I pretty much
Mr.
guarantee you, unless
Tam.
Road is dead set against doing it next week, we will definitely have some topics and some advice given. I'm gonna make that happen for next week. One last thing, good people. If you tune in next week, I got a little something for you on Tuesday on the Indie Experience. I don't know who or what may happen between now and then, but I got two new music videos for you, bro, on Tuesday.
Okay, so if you tune in Tuesday and the music video spotlight, we'll be spotlighting E's music videos to his songs. And when we end the show, I like to replay the video. So he played one of my videos, Heartfelt, the country song, when we went to commercial break. So to end the show, let's give them a taste of Flowana, the short version of Flowana, to end out the show.
Okay, that's if I got it. Ooh,
Because I think that was Love of My Dreams, the short version video. If you got
I
that.
had the very short version. I don't want that one. I want the other one. All right, let's see if I can track it down right quick. Oh no, I can't. No, I can't. Not without messing everything up. Okay, so yeah, we gonna give you. Oh, we got our other video. Let's do that one then. Okay, y'all, we're gonna finish the show up with the Riverfront Jam video that we did. Okay, Detroit Riverfront Jam is the name of this video by Billy Floats. The Billy Floats album will be out sometime this summer because I'm still about 4 albums behind now as it is. But anyway, this is Billy Floats, Detroit Riverboat Jams. We will see y'all next Sunday.
Peace.
Oh, hood up, breath in the cold, brick wall mirrors, stories and gold. River on my left side, factories asleep. You said this city hard, but it still lets me breathe. Walking by the water slow, Detroit riverfront glow. Every step got a little more soul, yeah, a little more soul. You and me in that midnight air, skyline tangled in your hair. Every mile feels like home, I know. On this Detroit riverfront slow. With our names carved from some other year. Broken street lamp flickers, you pull me near. Cargo ships humming past rusting glass. We trade quiet secrets, let the silence last.